The sawmill we have here in the village is an 1840 model of a muley-type saw. It's an upright saw driven by a barrel-type water wheel, using water that flows from the mill pond in through the wooden raceway. When we shove down the long pole near the window, it lifts the gate in the end of the raceway, lets the water flow through the wheel, and starts the wheel turning.
As the turbine is spinning, it's pulling the sopping down at a rate of about 80 strokes a minute. The man back at the shingle saw can pretty well control the speed by the force that he feeds the block into the saw. He can stop the whole thing just by feeding it in. Over here on the sweep, we're using 2 horses to run the drag saw. They're creating power by the means of a power takeoff shaft which runs back to a gearbox, and the gearbox in turn runs a drag saw. The pioneers often used this to saw up firewood, the bigger logs.
And the main purpose of using an adze is you can do it between your feet on the flat surface, where the broad axe is done on the vertical. This is done on the upper surface, standing right on the timber.
You score in as far as you can. Now you might, depending on the size of your log, you might have to go over it 6, 7, 8, 10 times. On a smaller log, you don't have to go as many times. You go as deeply as you can with your scores, and then you slab it off of to get your first run through with your broad axe. The axe itself weighs about 10, 12 pounds. It's not as heavy as you might think. From the looks of it, it looks a lot heavier than that. It's awfully sharp. You keep them razor sharp. Now, in the case of squared timber construction, in the case of the craft houses, they just use nails and lime mortar. They fitted their timbers to a pretty close tolerance, say not over half, 3/4 of an inch, and they put the grout in then, and they put a few squared nails, or blacksmith-made nails, to hold the mortar from falling out.